Prepping my swing trade of SPI Energy, ticker symbol SPI. This is the daily chart on January 26th. I'm already holding 10 at 11,475. I had gotten into this trade on the 25th, so the day prior. I had bought in 5 shares twice, so it averaged me down to 10 at 11,475. Looking at this daily chart, the two red candles are showing that it is riding along that 5 moving average, and I had gotten into this trade thinking that it was going to go up from there because those moving averages are fanning out. So let's check out what happened. Starting the day on the 26th, it dropped down and it dipped below where I was. So I just kind of let it ride. Sometimes when it doesn't dip low enough, I don't tend to average down just yet. I want to see if it is going to go any lower. This is the 27th, the daily chart. So it is showing that red candle that was from the 26th. And so sometime during pre-market on the 27th, I bought another 10 shares. And I now am holding 20 at 11,238. So I averaged down. Pre-market on the 27th. And this is the daily chart of the 27th. So it gapped down and it took all day to rise up and get close to my position. So I was gonna plan on holding it. It was still rising, following the 5, 13, and 20 moving averages based off of Oliver Velez's recommendations to follow patterns. So this is the 27th. It took most of the day riding under the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart before this was close to 2 o'clock before it decided to pop up over that 200. And usually when the 5 moving average meets the 200 moving average, it has a little run. So that's what I was excited to see. Jumping ahead to February 3rd, so I had other trades going, so I felt okay letting this ride out for a little bit without paying much attention to it. Didn't need to tend to it as much. But by the 3rd, I had already sometime before then averaged down again, so I bought another 10, and now I'm sitting at 30 at 10,875. This is the daily chart leading up to that day. So it did come down, it touched the 20 moving average and then came back up. I was okay letting this stock kind of run for a few days because even though it did dip down, it still had rising moving averages. So I felt pretty safe. That's why I was okay just leaving it alone. This is from the 3rd. Came down, touched that 200 moving average on the 5-minute. So the after hours on the 3rd, still watching it. And this is the open of the 4th. So it was up in this blue section, that's pre-market, opened up, dipped down, but touched that 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart and was coming back up. And it just continued to touch it, and let's see what happens. So from this, it looks like it was along the 200 moving average on the 5-minute chart for most of the day, and it dipped down a little bit below it, but then came back up. Had a big pop there by closer to the end of the day. And now it's showing a position size of 20. So I did sell 10 by the end of post-market on the 4th. I felt okay holding another 20 because I wanted to see what was going to happen. So it has 3 green candles all moving upwards, which is great to see. But sometimes it might dip down before it goes back up. But I wanted to get out of the trade soon. So still holding 20, wanted to see what it was going to do. This is the 5th, going into pre-market of the 5th. This is by end of the day. So this is the daily chart actually on the 6th. So there's a little red candle right there before that big green bar. That red candle is a red bar ignored because according to Oliver Velez's terminology. And there was that big green bar. Happy about that. I'm still holding on to my 20, and that green dotted line started to clear the previous high. This is the 8th. So happy to see it's above the 200 moving average now. It popped up over it. And it's starting to consolidate right there. It's starting to flag out a little bit. So that previous slide, I was holding 20 shares. Now I'm holding 10 shares because I wanted to catch it before it did dip down too much. I saw that it was starting to dip, so I sold 10 there. And I'm holding another 10 to see if it does pop back up. And it is starting to go down. So by this time, on the 8th, I sold out of all my positions. And I wanted to watch it a little bit longer just to see if it was going to go up, to see if I did make a good play. Let's recap. 30 shares. I ended up averaging at 10,875, holding 30 shares of SPI. I sold 30 shares over the span of a few days at an average of 1204. So in total, I was holding this for 11 days. Didn't do much with it, but still holding 11 days. I made a profit of $39. And let's see, was it a good play? The next day after I sold out, that red candle right there, just according to that red candle, I'd say I made a good play. So there it is. Thanks for watching.